leeks and everything else. So I guess because of my last minute decision, I'm gonna need a small pot now. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Mommy. So I have these leeks, so it's nice julienne. Thank you. I'm gonna go and put my steak one on here, and I'm gonna take my cream leeks one over here. Okay, I'll show you a saute, and I'll show you my cream leeks. Usually I don't show a lot of things to my students in grade 9, but you guys are doing really well, so I will let you taste that, and hopefully be able to finish in 10 minutes. Whew. So leeks, a lot of people don't really know how to saute or do. So I usually like to take couple ingredients and show them off and say, see, it tastes so good. So yeah, just tell your parents to buy leek. And,
I tried.
you tried?
They're like, no.
Oh.
Just kind of sad.
Oh. No. Well, you can saute leeks here.
Yep.
Here's some shallots because I extra. I don't want to waste it. Okay. Watch your waist. You guys are doing your last. That's your last lab, right? And you're basically one of the last classes to cook
Wait, this is our last
next
lab?
week.
Really?
No, until when you come back. So that's why when you guys are here, you need to go and. Sorry, I should have done it over here. Because then you guys can get a look at it. You will just saute your shallots without burning it. Then you take your leeks, okay, quite a lot actually, and you saute it also, okay. And to help it go, you can take a little bit. You can add a little bit of water to help it steam, okay. You want the color to be nice and green, so you kind of keep adding water. And that's the same thing if you are going to do it with the cabbage, okay? But creamy leeks are really tasty, so I do that. If you want, that's because, why not add some white wine? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, leeks and white wine, cabbage and white wine go really well. So, do you see that when you cook it, it looks like a really bright color? So, you guys can come over and take a look. It just brightens up. Okay, it used to be this color, and now it's this bright color. Okay, so you just basically saute the leeks until it's nice and tender, and most of the stuff is absorbed. Okay, if you were to saute a spinach or Swiss chard, any leafy greens, so now you should know how to saute or cook all vegetables. Now that I've already taught you how to braise it, how to blanch. So you can blanch the majority of a lot of vegetables. And for leafy vegetables, like I said, spinach, Swiss chard, kale, it's really simple. All you need to do is just turn on the heat, add a little bit of oil. And I'm just doing it with this one because I don't have a lot of kale for you. I've done this with any type of leafy green. And I do it exactly the same way. I do it with Asian like vegetables before. So you add it in, okay? Nice and high. And basically you just add a little bit of salt. And you just saute. If you want to add a little bit of water, just to steam it up. That's it. You're done. So this what you're going to do is you're going to start your, for the medium-sized pot, your reduction. Remember, once you make your sauce, it's the way that you want to taste and how thick it is. Take it off the heat, and then last minute before you put it back on, okay? For this dish and for your next dish, every single food I taste when you put it out has to be piping hot. So even if it's sitting on the table, by the time I eat it, it should still be warm. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, you have to reheat every single thing. till it's piping hot. Make sense? Okay? So keep that in mind. I am going to mark you on your temperature today for the next 2 labs. Okay? Because food needs to be hot, plate needs to be hot. Right? So first thing you're gonna do is that you're gonna take your shallot, okay? We talked about this before. It is a mini, it's like a garlic and an onion had a baby and it actually came out with a shallot. So you're gonna take a shallot around half.
Like julienness.
I will tell you how you want it. You're gonna do a very, very small dice, and the small dice is called a brunoise. So I'm gonna write it down. So whenever I say a very tiny dice, it's called a brunoise. So B-R-U-N-O-I-S-E. Brunoise. Brunoise. Okay, that is French. And I'm going to show you once more how to make a brunoise, okay? I should not be seeing, it's just like a haircut. You snip it once, you can never re-snip it again, right? You could change the hairstyle, but you can't re-snip that part once again. So you need to go and make sure the cuts are good. Small things need small knives, so I'm just going to go and land the side and make really parallel, thin strips, okay? As thin as I can. So thin, like rectangle strips, so I made 3 or 4 on there. I didn't go fully through. Then I turn it vertically where the lines are, and I point, and I follow through with the lines not going fully through also. The smaller the lines, all right, the better it is. So I made around 10 lines on this one little guy. Okay, so if you take a look at it, it's super tiny and it looks like an accordion that's going to fall apart, okay? Just like onions, you do not haché, and onions, you do not go and, for onions, you do not go and chop it more than once. So once you chop it once, that's it. So you gotta see how thin these strips are, okay? Because that's how thin I would like it. Once you got that part, you can put your small knife away, and you're gonna go and point and follow through with your knife. Really small. Okay, once you get to this part, keep it because I put it into the stock. Alright, so if you look at it, it's a really, really, really small dice. Okay? So once I got that, I have it all ready to go. I'm gonna go and put this in here. And then I'm gonna go. So most likely you'll need half an onion. You don't need as much onions as I do. So I'm gonna take some to saute my vegetables after because I had too much. I'm gonna also now take my mushrooms, okay? And I'm gonna just make really thin slices. So I'm just gonna cut it in half, lay it down flat. Alright? And I'm just gonna go through really thin. Okay, so I should see really thin. Like really thin. Okay, do you see how thick it is? Okay. It's really thin. Okay. Your mushrooms. So at this point, I should see you guys rocking the knife like this. It is called rocking because it goes and rocks back and forth like this. So you should rock your knife, right? Like this. It doesn't have to be that fast, but I should see a rhythm, okay? So I'll be coming by and that's part of your knife cut skills. I should be seeing, not like, okay? Even if you do it this way, it's still a rhythm. Do you notice? It's like 1, 2, 3. It's really like rhythmic, right? So same thing, right? The only way that you get faster is just practice that way. To try to point and follow through, point and follow through. Once I got that, the last thing I'm gonna do, okay, so once again, I'm clearing my cutting board, making sure it's clean. notice that my cutting board is always clean, okay? I still see everyone scattering your like bowls everywhere and stuff like that. You guys gotta keep things tight onto one tray. Your goal is to make it so that it goes onto one tray. So I have that ready to go. I'm gonna now take a couple of peppercorns. Now this is really potent being like that, so I take around 10 to 12 only. And I'm gonna put this right on. And once again, I know some of you guys will like this. You're gonna go and take your pot.
Oh yeah.
And this is gonna be super potent because it's freshly cracked pepper and large pieces. Because of that reason, you don't need a lot, okay? So I did 10 to 12 peppercorns. It'll be up here. Then I'm gonna start this off. And really crunchy.
Sexy potato.
They're sexy potatoes. I'm glad that you're using the word sexy for food, because food is definitely sexy. Okay. I decided to do lines today. Yep. I'm gonna go and take a little bit of my kale, and I thought I would. That dark green, you know?
The contrast in the color.
Yeah, the color contrast. Okay, I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna use this hot guy. So remind me that this is hot, okay?
Hot pan. Hot pan.
Hot pan. Okay, so this is stewed a little bit, so I'm gonna go and add a little bit of cream and let it reduce so it becomes creamy leaves. So a little bit of cream. Okay. And I'm just gonna let it bubble up and reduce. Okay? So we cream leeks. Okay. So I have my steak now, and I'm gonna teach you how to go and know whether it is a your color of your steak. Okay? The best way to eat a steak, to be honest, is medium rare. Okay? So you're gonna season your steak with salt on one side. Steak is super easy. It's just taking the time to do it well. Okay? Then you do the pepper. Flip it to the other side. And salt. Okay? And pepper again. Then what you're gonna do is, so your steak will be a little bit smaller, but then what you're gonna do is that you're gonna sear it, okay? So I have some oil in here already.
That is a hot pan.
Let this move.
I'm talking to
And how do you tell whether your steak is done? Is not by opening it up or anything, because if you do, the juices will run. So you need to go and feel the steak by a touch test. So if you want a medium rare, you touch the steak on both sides, like squeezing the sides, like here. You're gonna go and squeeze it, and it should feel like medium rare here. If you do the third finger, and you just loosely put it together, okay, so your thumb and your middle finger don't, don't put pressure, like don't hold it really tight. This is medium, then you go medium well, and then well done. Medium rare, medium well, well done. So once you do this, it's smoking pot pan. Watch out for the, just put it right on, and leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't turn it. Let it kind of suntan. Okay, my leeks are kind of changing colors already, but it is now braising and it's toasted, so I'll be trying that out. Okay, let this do its work. I know everyone loves to touch that. pretty good. Flip it over, have this good caramelization, which means a natural sugar burning. It is going to be a very smoky day on Wednesday, let's just say, okay? So how do I tell? Once again, I'm going to start pressing on it. Wow, that was a bit scary. Can you feel it? Yeah, that was a big pop. Okay, and you feel the sides? And yes, you will have a lot of fun cleaning this pan to look like this again though. So use a metal scrubby. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. This is basically done, so I'm going to go and take this. It's going to be creamy, but yet at the same time like crunchy. So this is going to lift up my almost. And then I take it off the pan. And then I'm going to leave it. And obviously you heat up your saucepan. Okay. Fix the consistency. We need to. Okay. And you let the you need to let the steak rest because you will be cutting the steak. Okay. There's lines that go straight up and down. You don't want to cut with the lines. Okay, for this one. You want to go against the lines because against the lines makes the beef tender. So against the line, so that it looks like, look at your hand. I'm not sure if you look at it, your lines go everywhere, right? So when you cut your first slice and you look at the steak, it will look like your lines are going everywhere. That makes a tender steak. So then I put this right on. Okay, and you should rest this a lot longer, but the bell rang, so we'll need to go and cut this. Okay. And you want to cut this on the angle, on the side. And yes, you may not be used to, some of you guys, to this rareness, but it is actually a good thickness and is tender. And for anyone who is not at risk, it is actually the best way to eat it. So, you will have to tell me before you cook how you like your steak, okay? But I would say this is the best way.
She's not here. Lexi is here. She's not. She's not leaving.
Okay.